What is the 15th thing that I would do differently if I were going to college today? I would enroll in and complete Financial Peace University. Hi, I'm Passion Darby, and over the next month, I am going to be sharing with you 31 things that I would do differently if I were going to college today. 31 years ago, almost to date, I was an 18-year-old young woman, and I decided that I was going to college that fall no matter what. And I did go to college that fall. It was fall of 1993. So here I am, 31 years later, and 4 degrees later, college degrees that is, I feel that I have amassed a vast amount of information, wisdom, and knowledge that I am going to be sharing with today's college goers through this channel. So, what is the 15th thing that I would do differently if I were going to college today? I would enroll in and I would complete Financial Peace University. So let me tell you what Financial Peace University is. Financial Peace University is a 9-week financial literacy course offered by Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey is a thought leader in financial education. He is, to me, a very brilliant man. And just so you know, he is not paying me to say this, and he does not even know I exist. But I took his course last month, finally, and it has been life changing for me. And I really do wish I would have taken this course prior to going to college in 1993. So the truth is, I did not really concern myself with financial literacy before I was going to college because I did not know that I was supposed to or that it was important. However, in 1998, right after I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, I had returned back home to Chicago and I was very lost and also very poor. And I was driving from Chicago to Alabama to see a friend of mine who I met in college. And while I was driving through Tennessee, I got a station that was trying to come into the radio. And back in those days, while I did have a brand new car, we did not have CD players, I don't think. And people were still listening to the radio. We definitely didn't have radio streaming stations and things like that, like Sirius or anything like that. And we definitely didn't have iPods or iTunes. So I was listening to the radio as I was going from state to state. So when I was going through Tennessee, this station was coming in to the frequency, and I heard this man who was talking about what was worrying me, which was money. And he was making so much sense to me. And it was like he was answering all the questions that I had in my young life at that time, but didn't have not have answers to. And I heard him say that his name was Dave Ramsey. And I heard people shouting that they were debt free. And I know I had student loans at that time. And I was really fascinated by his radio show and the way he was communicating about money. But as I was entering Alabama, the station was going out of frequency. And so I was so disappointed and hurt. I was really trying to hear him as much as I could. But I did hear him say that he had a book called The Total Money Makeover. So I pulled over to the first bookstore that I saw once I entered Alabama, which was a bookstore called Books a Million. And I went into that bookstore and I bought his book that day. And so I began studying money from that point on. Now, I did not implement what I was learning because I became very distracted in my 20s with stupid things. But I never forgot about Dave Ramsey and what I learned from his book, and I was trying to get back on track with that for several years of my life. But This past year, one of my college friends reminded me that he and I had met 30 years ago. So this was last August, August of 2023. And he said, Passion, we met 30 years ago. Can you believe that? And we're still friends. And it dawned on me when he said that. I was like, man, I learned about, if we met 30 years ago, and that means I learned about Dave Ramsey 25 years ago because I had graduated at that time, 5 years after my friend and I had met. And I still have not implemented those things I learned from Dave Ramsey. So I made a commitment to myself that I would begin doing all the things that I regret not doing as a college student, starting in 2024, which is why I launched my business, Passion for College, on January 1st, 2024, because that was one of my regrets. But another one of my regrets was not taking Dave Ramsey's lessons seriously. So in my writing these plans out to redeem myself from my college mistakes, something told me log on and see what are the course offerings now. I mean, what are the offers from Dave Ramsey now? So I typed his name in, and then I saw Financial Peace University. And I was like, oh, I've been hearing about this in my friend circles. And some people that I know actually had taken the class and they were doing really well. And I said, you know what? I am going to look into this course. And maybe in 2024, I can take this course finally and get back on track to what Dave Ramsey advises us to do if we want financial freedom. So I looked into the course, I read the materials, and I saw that a course was starting that day, that exact day. And I just paid for it. I was just like, forget it. It's now or never. Listen, over the last 3 years, one of the things that I have learned is that we never know when our last day is. And I just said, I am going to do this today. I'm not going to put it off to 2024. That's ridiculous. I have the money today. I have the time today. Let's do it. So I went ahead and paid for that course, and I sent the teacher, the instructor or the facilitator, a message letting them know, do not start that class without me, because the class was literally starting like within an hour of that time. And I asked them to send me the link, the Google link, and whatever else I needed to do to get engaged in that class. So the teacher, the facilitator did do that. I took the class that day, and 9 weeks later, I finished the course. So yes, yay for passion. I finally finished the course, the Financial Peace University course, the full spectrum of Dave Ramsey's knowledge base in terms of financial literacy. So as I shared in an earlier video, I even received a graduate certificate from finishing that course. But that course was so life-changing for me. And I'm grateful that I went ahead and took it, and that I'm able to start 2024 with a whole new mindset regarding financial literacy and financial freedom. And I am on path to being completely financial free very soon because I took that course. So why would I have taken the course before college? I have about 9 reasons why. The first one is I knew very young that I wanted to retire early. I have shared in several videos in this series how much I hated seeing people I love work. I hated it. I absolutely hated it as a child. And I knew I didn't want to work for the rest of my life. I knew I didn't want to work for the majority of my life. So had I taken Financial Pace University prior to college, then I would have gotten a head start on financial freedom. Number two, no academic major matters without financial literacy. Let me repeat that because you all should know by now I love me some college, okay? I'll probably go to college forever because I love to learn. But no academic major, not even a STEM major, matters if you do not know what to do with the money that you earn. So I think that the Financial Peace University course, this 9-week course, is the best course for any college student can take. And I think that this is a course that should be taken before you go to college, because if you make earn money, a little or a lot, with your academic major. You still need to know what to do with that money. Number three, you will need financial literacy more than you will need your degree or your transcripts. This is something I've had to learn over the last 31 years. I have stellar transcripts, let me tell you, okay? I was always on the dean's list for the most part. I think I only had one semester in college when I was not on the dean's list, and that was my first semester at Clark Atlanta University, I think. But no one ever asked, no employer, no car salesman, no apartment renter, no bank ever asked me to see my transcripts. They asked me for my financial statements. So you will need financial literacy more than you will need your degree and more than you will need stellar transcripts. So you need to learn about money first. Number four, the session within Financial Peace University on budgeting is worth the money alone. And again, Dave Ramsey does not know I exist. He'll probably never see this video. So, and he's not paying me to see this, to say these things. So I'm not saying this without conviction. The budgeting session alone is worth more than what I paid for the course. You will need to know how to budget when you are in college, believe me. And the sooner you learn, the better. I think I'm on number 5. The younger we begin to study money, the better. Bad financial habits are very difficult to break. When I was younger, okay, I'm not going to share that story. But when I was younger, this is actually when I had first graduated from college. I used to look at older people who were now the age that I am, who were then now, they were then the age that I am now. And I used to ask myself, how do you grow old broke? I used to really look at them and just say, how do you just keep aging year after year after year after year after year after decade after score after, no, that's it, decades and scores, and never stop to course correct your financial journey or your financial outcome. Another thing that's hurtful to me, when I go to Walmart, I hope I don't start crying because this really does hurt me. When I go to Walmart or when I go to a grocery store and I see an older person working, that hurts me so bad that sometimes, like recently, I have gone to buy food for those people and brought it back to their jobs. I always make sure that I get into the lines at Walmart where the elderly people are working so that I can ask them how they are doing. And oftentimes they will tell me things like, my back is hurting. I really want to sit down, but I can't. I have a migraine. One woman told me, I really need to go to the hospital, but I can't afford to. And she was the cashier. When I tell you all things like that hurt me so bad, and I really do mean it. One day I was stopping by a grocery store and met an older woman cashier, and I was en route to go pick me up some handmade chocolates. I bought that lady some chocolates back from the chocolate factory I was going to. And when I came back, she was in the break room, and I asked her supervisor if I can go to the break room and give her some candy, give her the candy. I had the candy wrapped for her in the gift box. That's how much it hurts me to see older people working, because I don't think older people should have to work as hard as they have already worked in this country and as much as they've already given to this country. So I gave that lady the candy. She was really gracious. I'm grateful, but I do stuff like that all the time because it hurts me to see older people work. And so I know that there was some point in their lives where something financial went wrong, where they would have to still be working. And Also, with me being a person who travels to different countries where the elderly are revered and held in high regard, particularly when I go to African countries, and seeing how the difference where those elders are not expected to work, their families take care of them, and they do not typically put them into nursing homes, and then to see the difference in how we treat our elderly in this country, it is heartbreaking for me. So I never want to be an elderly person who has to work. And thank goodness I have taken this course and I've course corrected while I still have my youth and while I still have my vibrancy and I still have a lot of options. But why don't you, college going student, learn from my mistakes and learn this earlier, even earlier than I? Start now. The younger you are, the better, because it is very difficult to break bad money habits as you age. The next um, the next reason why I would have taken the course before college, Dave Ramsey teaches a lot of spiritual lessons in his course. Within the course, there's a booklet that you can complete, but there's also lectures, hour-long lectures, 9 of them, I believe, that consist of him and his daughter and 2 other gentlemen. And in those lessons, they talk a lot about spirituality, and you will need to lean on your own spirituality to get yourself to financial freedom. The next reason why I would have taken the course before college is because financial freedom is more important than a college education, given the state of our country. So that's hard for me to state because I love college. Okay, I love college, but I'm grown now. I know better now. So I'm teaching you what I know. Financial freedom will be the thing that saves you. The money will be the tool that saves you. The degree will not save you. It will help you and it will definitely open some doors for you. But what if you walk into those doors and you don't want to stay? The best tool to get you out of that door and enable you to close that door behind you will be money. So your financial freedom is more important than a college education at this point in our country. I think if I were living 40 years ago, I would not say that. That would not be my perspective, but I am a 49-year-old woman in 2024, and that is definitely my perspective. And then lastly, if I had completed Financial Peace University before going to college, I would already be on baby step 7. There are 7 baby steps that are taught within Financial Peace University and by Dave Ramsey in all of his platforms. And I know for sure that I would already be on baby step 7 if I had started my financial journey before college. So, how can you learn from my mistakes of not taking that class before college? Number 1, take the class. One of the things that Dave Ramsey says in his class is things don't get done because we don't do them. And that really resonated with me because when I think about the things that didn't get done in my life, it was not because I couldn't do them, it was because I didn't do them. So just go ahead and take the class. Again, the class, or maybe I didn't mention it, the class I think is $79.99. It is very inexpensive and it is very thorough and it is only 9 sessions long. You can have it done before you go back to school this fall or before you go to school this fall. Number 2, complete the class. What I noticed in our class is that we started off with about 10 families or 10 people. And when the class was over, there was only 3 of us. So now don't just go to the class, complete it and graduate. I got my certificate. Make sure you get your certificate. Number 3, start on the Dave Ramsey baby steps now. Baby step 1 is to save a $1,000 beginner's emergency fund. Get started right now. Right now. Number 4, study spiritual principles of money management. So I'm a student of spiritual principles when it comes to money management. I am currently reading the Bible from front to back for the second time. so that I can learn the financial principles within the Bible. That's my 2024 project. In 2025, I will be reading the Quran to learn its financial principles, and I've already ordered my Quran so that it could be here when I finish the Bible. The year after that, I will probably read, I think it's called the Torah, which is, I don't know for sure, but it's the Jewish financial spiritual principles that I will be studying. So think about what are your spiritual practices, and study what that spiritual practice says about money management. Number 5, after you take Financial Peace University, study Dave Ramsey's principles by reading his books while in college. I think he has about 4 books. So that's great because you can read one of his books per academic year. And that's what I have been doing as well, but I've read his books much quicker than that because I am serious about financial freedom. So those are my 5 tips for you in terms of not making the same mistake that I made by not taking Financial Peace University before college. So to register for Financial Peace University, Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, you can go to ramseysolutions.com. Ramsey's is RAMSEY Solutions, SOLUTIONS.com, or simply Google Financial Peace University. Thank you so much for listening, and please go to college.